Okay, everybody, so we are back for another CBC podcast. This week, we are definitely not scraping the bottom of the barrel. I can let you know that right in advance. When you look at the topics, we got a whole lot of good stuff. Black Widow twice, Venom Spider-Man, more Spider-Man, and DCEU. So it's going to be a good show filled with lots of quality topics. I'm a bad salesman. Oh man,
You really are.
Yeah, that's okay. The people tuning in for this know they're just getting a bunch of BS, so it's okay. They know what they're
Just like
expecting.
it's good. I swear. Give me money.
I swear, this tonic will turn you. What's it say on the back? Invisible. That's the one.
Just ignore the warning label. It's fine.
Yeah.
It says it might turn you blind. Ignore that. It's all good. It's all good.
It's the world that's invisible,
It's
not
just special
you.
features.
It's the Snyder cut of tonics.
It's just
Oh,
surprise
jeez.
mechanics. That's what it is.
Surprise mechanics.
Mechanics.
So welcome to the CBC podcast. As always, I am your host, Armin. Find me at Arminis and Comic Book Cast, just one word on Google. I'm joined today by Mitch.
What's up? You can find me at Mitch692.
Also Tristan
Hey guys, you can catch me at It's J Chance.
and Shay.
Hey guys, you can find me on Instagram at Mache1602.
So yeah, this week it's the week before Spider-Man, and Spider-Man releases next week on a weird one. So we're definitely going to be doing a double show next week, just so people know. Obviously, there's going to be a spoiler cast, and then
Yeah,
Is it really next week?
oh yeah,
it's because they pushed it back. Because originally it was going to be the 4th of July, but they pushed it back.
yeah,
2
opens
days.
up on Tuesday.
That don't mean they brought it forward by 2 days.
Yeah.
This is the second.
Yeah, they moved it forward, and it's really weird because like our local theater's not doing a Monday.
Yeah, and
It's
some
weird.
are doing like a late Monday. I don't know. It's weird. But either way, Spider-Man's coming, so expect a double podcast next week because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot to talk about with Spider-Man. But for now,
Oh yeah.
let's just jump into the topics we have here. So this may or may not be our first look at Taskmaster from leaked photos. They are rather low quality if you look them up online, but he's got the right makings of what I would consider Taskmaster. Like,
Yeah.
so I know why people are saying, oh, it's probably not, but to me, honestly, I feel like it probably is Taskmaster. Like, what do you feel about it?
I mean, if you ever seen the Udon redesign of Taskmaster, where it's like he's predominantly blue, it's like an old shield uniform, he's got like, there's no cape, it's just a hood and like the mask. It looks exactly like that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Here's the thing about it. I don't necessarily hate what they have, but I think me and just about everybody, when you think Taskmaster, you probably think the cape, the cloak, the skull.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the skull.
I guess it's just more.
somewhat-
I think it's just more about the design of the outfit than anything.
Yeah.
Because he's not. Because normally most Taskmaster outfits or designs he usually has more white on a suit instead of being all blue, or as some people called it, a blue Lord Zed.
Yeah.
I mean, he
So-
definitely does look like Lord Zed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like
So
it's
unfortunate.
a helmet. It's like a complete helmet, and if you sit there and you probably are able to remove that face piece, and that's probably where it comes into the skull, less than Lord Zed. But if you really zoom in, I'm like, no, just
So-
paint it red, and it is Lord Zed.
I want to talk about this for a second. To me, it looks like all the villains shop at the same place in the MCU.
Yes.
Like, his design very reminds me of some sort of mixture of like Wasp and Ghost or something. Like, I can't describe it. And when I first woke up this morning, I clicked the Twitter thing. I'm scrolling through without knowing that was from Black Widow. I scrolled by like 6 people sharing it, and in my mind I was ignoring it because I was like, clearly this is like VR Troopers or a Power Ranger or something. Like, it didn't click that it was MCU till I stopped on. I was like, okay, why is everybody sharing this now? And maybe, just maybe this is one of his outfits. Like, apparently they are shooting this in Budapest, so I don't
They're
know.
all over the place at the minute.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe there's multiple suits he's gonna have. Like, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. If you I just googled it while you were talking about that. If you look at the Age of Ultron Hydra suits.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like that.
It does, yeah.
It also, the side profile picture looks so much like Bucky when we first see that he's Winter Soldier. It's the goggles. It's the exact same face mask. I'm like, oh, it's just Bucky with a helmet on.
Yeah, just looking at other pictures that I'm going through, and I guess it's just that the whole headpiece is not all white like how most of the other ones are, and there's not enough orange, I guess, is what's throwing people off.
We can also...
Well, it's again just goes back to the Udon suit. That was predominant blue, a little bit of white. The helmet was white and blue. No.
Like, you can clearly tell on this he has a cloak, like, or a hood.
He's at least got a hood. He's got one of the big, like, saggy hoods.
Yeah, he's got it on there, which is alright. But it is a little weird to me. It almost looks like the front piece is going to rise up. Like, if you look at the side of it, almost like there's a mechanism to it that can, like, lift the thing over his face. Yeah, it's...
Yeah, I'm looking up the newer design of Taskmaster, and it basically does look just like that, just without the dominant look of a skull in the front.
Yeah, and I think people did, including myself, I was expecting a lot more orange on it, but I don't know.
I mean, he could very well get another suit. No, like, for all we like, it's kind of maybe going into the next topic a little bit, but like, he could have one of the Age of Ultron Hydra suits before, depending when this takes place. Obviously, like, it could be the 90s, it could be anywhere else. Like, maybe he got one of those and just painted it blue. Just change the mask a little.
And to me, honestly, like, the Taskmaster thing, I think for as long as the MCU's existed, people have wanted Taskmaster. So I have no doubt that they're going to handle the character in a decent way. I have no doubt he's going to be awesome, that he's going to have an awesome sword and some great weapons and stuff. It's just like, okay, yeah, it's a set leak. We shouldn't necessarily judge it all on that, because I remember so many people flipping out on Ultron. It's like, look at how terrible he looks. I'm like, dude, it's like a skinny guy wearing a puffy thing. Like, that's not.
So you puff a jacket on.
Right, that's not what he's gonna look like. Come on, like.
It's actually I'm looking up right now the Taskmaster from Marvel's Spider-Man. It's very reminiscent of that, as well as a little bit reminiscent of the Avengers video game. So
isn't the Avengers one a bit more blue?
The Avengers one is honestly, his mask is more like Take-Two or whatever that video game was, that they both have actual metal skull masks. That's what the difference.
The Army of Two style.
Army of Two, thank
that's
you.
The one.
And his suit in that, he's actually more like, I'm a military guy with a sleeveless like shirt kind of thing. So it looks like they're trying to not copy what has been done, but give it enough of a remnants that you're like, okay.
See, that's the thing. Maybe they should copy what's been done perfectly. Like, and we're kind of in like a Taskmaster renaissance. It's kind of weird, but it's like he's in Spider-Man, the PS4 video game. He's going to be in this movie, and right around when this movie's coming out, literally Marvel's Avengers is launching, and he's the first thing you're facing. Like, it's like, wow, okay, like Taskmaster is getting like, he's becoming a big boy now. He's everywhere.
Well, like, let's be honest and real here. He's the perfect recurring villain.
He is.
You have a villain, you defeat the villain, they're not much of a threat the next time. Taskmaster's a constant threat.
Mm-hmm.
He always changes up how he fights them, so it's like, it's the perfect way to do it. But
especially because he's going to be learning, constantly learning, so he's never going to make the same mistake twice.
If the rumors are true that this movie could take place in a few different time periods, then maybe him showing up with different armors throughout it would kind of make a lot of sense, and he kind of redefines it and builds upon it. So it's like, this could be, I believe this is probably going to be one of maybe 2 or 3 different looks for him. Just, I feel like you got to sell them action figures, all right? Like,
I think of Crossbones.
Yeah.
Like, you got a little hint towards it when, like, he was in his shield, or when, quote shield. And then, he got all burnt from the build and somehow survived that. And then, he came back all, like, not proper Crossbonesy, but, he looked more like Crossbones. So.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's kind of how it's going to go. So,
Yeah, hopefully the Blue Beetleborg will get better.
Big bad Beetleborgs.
I was obsessed with the Beetleborgs.
Same. Oh, no. What was that? What was the blue genie? He looked like Jay
Oh,
Leno.
I can't.
Is
I
it? Is it?
can't.
I think it's Flabber. I think.
I can't remember.
Flabber?
They should bring that show back. Bring that back.
Some weird, creepy kids shouldn't really be watching this guy.
Yeah, no, not at all. Black Widow theories, rumors, various things over the last, I guess forever. Let's just put it that way. So one point there was rumors there was going to be a film centered around the Y2K disaster, then a direct Iron Man 2 prequel, then something in the 90s, something that's during I guess the gap between the years of Infinity War and Endgame. Things are all over the place. There's even rumors now that we're going to be getting the other Black Widow, who... Didn't we have her in Agent Carter?
I believe we did have a Black Widow in Agent Carter.
Dottie Underwood was based and supposed to end up as Yelena Belova.
Yeah.
She never got to that point. So it's like, we just bring her in here.
So here you go. Make this her great-granddaughter or something. And go with that. And it's what's her name? The star of... she's the star of Midsommar and Fighting with My Family. I can't remember her name.
It's Florence.
Florence, that's the one. Yep. Yeah. Like, man, she's getting everywhere in Hollywood, and she's real good. So awesome that they got her in here. Also, we got apparently David Harbour is gonna be Taskmaster, which that's great.
I mean, it's either David Harbour or it's the other guy. They cast someone as a villain. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I know. So, I don't know. Like, this movie's shaping up to be
interesting.
More interesting than I thought it was going to be, because I was just like, at first it caught me off guard. I'm like, look, what can you possibly do with this that we don't know? But introducing so many different elements does kind of expand upon that mythos and take it in a new direction. And hopefully they can take Florence and I guess make her the new Black Widow post Endgame, which kind of would be awesome because...
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, you know. You can kind of... It's obvious that she's going to be Yelena because there was that set leak where the wardrobe had Yelena's name on it. Mm-hmm. So we're definitely getting a new Black Widow. Like,
yeah.
They can't not bring her in afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see... I want the journey to be less of Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow and more of this new Black Widow in either training or the potential, because she is so young, but somebody else as Black Widow.
What if it's sort of like Ant-Man, where, yeah, it's Scott's story and, you know, Hank is there, but Hank is sort of a mentor passing the torch and he's already done his thing, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I'd take a 50-50. I think that would work really well, you know, like, balance it out, introduce the new one, you know, say what you need to with the history of Natasha and go forward with it. And at the same time, there's been even I guess, well, I can't say it's a rumor because Ming-Na Wen, who plays, you know, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she's Agent May, even she was like, oh, you know, put me in that movie. I'm like, that could work too, because if it's a prequel, if they're going to have like a Coulson cameo or something, which they realistically could, you could make a small cameo, I guess. I mean, I'd like to see it.
It depends what they do. Like, you know, if it's more Natasha's growing, like we know when they're filming Budapest, well, not Budapest, Hungary, wherever the hell they were, like they were filming scenes for Natasha's childhood.
Yep.
It's like, is she going to be in S.H.I.E.L.D. at this point, or is it just more her in the Red Room?
Yeah.
So, like, if she's not in S.H.I.E.L.D., then can you really realistically put Coulson or May in there?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it would be Coulson, a younger Coulson, who recruits her and gets her in there as a part of the S.H.I.E.L.D.
Coulson
initiative.
and Fury, maybe. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she definitely has, like, that bond with Fury. Like, those two have been together throughout this entire thing.
I mean, it wouldn't also surprise me if maybe we see some of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that we've known throughout the years, like, make a small comeback or something, or a small cameo, because they always love to do that. Like, nobody...
You mean like Hawkeye?
Yeah.
I mean, the one person that would make the most sense, like, just bring in Hawkeye.
Also, like, when everybody went and saw Endgame, nobody expected Pierce to show up in there for, like, a 10-second cameo. It was like, wait a second, did they get Redford literally back for, like, 10 seconds to just, like, say, give me the briefcase? It's like, yeah, they did. Like, I wouldn't mind that with, like, Agent Sitwell or something, just kind of, or that guy that was, what was his name? I can't remember. It was one of the dudes that was dealing with Tony in Iron Man 2. He was like, yeah, we got to bring you to court. Just kind of like connected a little bit more because that's always what they love to do. And I mean, they got unlimited money over at Marvel Studios, so
Yep.
they could do whatever they want.
I'm excited. I want to see the first trailer, especially with all of these new aspects coming in, and with that Taskmaster leak, it looks like it's in the future, or at least closer to now. Because if you look at the vehicle he's on, there's no way that was back in the 90s.
And even like her hair and everything, it looks way more current Natasha. So I don't know. You don't think?
Depends how they do it.
Yeah.
You could pass what she's got off in like the hair wise for the 90s easily.
True.
Because like there was there's a set picture of one of the cars, and it wasn't an old like 90s Russian model. So,
but that's okay.
Doesn't necessarily say it's in the 90s.
They still drive those in Russia today, so you can't.
Yeah,
you don't know.
It's like usually it'd be a good indicator, but maybe
this
not.
car runs on Hertzigs. What? What? What are you talking about?
It runs on turnips. That's what it does.
So yeah, I mean, I just to kind of end this, I'm really I'm getting more and more excited about the Black Widow movie. But to me, prequels.
I wasn't until Feige was like, "Oh yeah, it's just a Better Call Saul with the Marvel movies." I'm like, "Oh."
That's kind of what put me off too. I was like, but I hate Better Call Saul. Like that show's pointless to me.
It's like the most prequel you'd ever imagine. It's so lazy. It's just like, oh no.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you see this scene where Saul walks out this door. Guess who was on the other side? Jesse Pinkman.
It was bad. But...
Yep. So yeah, Black Widow. We'll know more about it just about a month from now.
I'd say we'll probably get a nice leaked, decent look at Taskmaster from Hall H panel.
Oh yeah, we will. So stay tuned for that one, guys. With all the hype surrounding Spider-Man, the future of a Spider-Man-less Spider-Man universe that Sony's still trying to construct out of like Lincoln Logs or whatever the hell they're trying to connect it out of, more and more producers behind it are like, so, don't y'all want to see Venom and Spider-Man? And even people at Marvel Studios, like Kevin Feige, was like, I mean, if they want to do it, they can. It's not up to me.
I did not take him as saying it that way.
Really?
That was more like, to me at least, it was more him being like, if they want to do it, they can do it, but Holland's ours. Like, you know, it's like, you know, if you can't do it, do it yourself. Like, this isn't our stuff.
I definitely don't think they get Holland back, but then again, you never know. It's Sony. I don't know what they could try to muster up out of their own.
I'm not sure that Sony could even get Holland because it's a Marvel Studios contract.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and he's still got one more on it. So.
So, are we gonna get? Is Venom 2, which has been confirmed? You know, Tom Hardy's coming back and everything. Are they really gonna cast a new Spider-Man? Like,
I hope
is Sony
not.
this stupid?
If it comes to it, they will. They've done some stupid.
I mean, let's be
before.
honest. If they're smart, just get the guy who played Peter Parker in Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like, just do that. You have one. Just put him in a suit. Like, he hasn't got to get in shape or anything. Like, just do that.
Yeah.
And you just heard a whole bunch of Raimi fans say no, they want Tobey Maguire.
I mean, Raimi fans hurt Raimi fans anyway. So like,
I can see it being something as being like they're gonna hype up Spider-Man's in Venom 2. Spider-Man's in Venom 2. All it is a web shot or a swing, and that's it. And they're like, see, guys,
Sony's
Spider-Man was here.
Use their top-level Photoshop artists.
What is the mannequin swinging by?
Yep.
Oh, again. I mean, let's be honest. They did the exact same thing for the first one. It's like, maybe he's in it. You have to see it. It's just like, he's not. Like, why even try?
Oh, where is that? I mean, it is a weird scenario that they're in when it comes to using Spider-Man, because Sony can use him. They have no restrictions. They just can't use Tom Holland. So they could do whatever the hell they want. Like, they could literally just be like, all right, here's your new Spider-Man. But I think they have to be careful with the fans, because fans quickly turn on them with TASM after Amazing Spider-Man 2 somehow managed to shove literally everything they had on a script into, like, the first 45 minutes of the film. So, I think they badly want it. But does Venom really need it? Because Venom made bank without Spider-Man. So why would you need to shove Spider-Man in there? Like,
I feel like it would honestly hurt them because a lot of people are going to go in thinking it's Holland. Because the everyday normal person, that's what they think now. Is it's going to be Holland.
How weird was it when we went and saw Endgame, and I talked about this. There was people literally after we saw it in the lobby, and even in our gym, they were like, oh, so the Marvel Studios is over because Endgame. I was like, no, there's Spider-Man. They were like, what? It's continuing? Like,
yeah.
People are... Like, it's always hard to differentiate us on here that obviously know stuff is coming, and then... The everyday person who's like, there's another Spider-Man? Okay.
It's because of the casuals automatically think Endgame means, it's final. It's not just a subtitle to a movie.
I was going to say, like, the people in the gym probably aren't the best people to actually talk to about that.
But the thing is, they watch these films. They've seen all the Marvel Studios ones. So I'm like, it's so weird. Like, I had one of my friends, he has a kid. He lives, I don't know, he was like 2 minutes away. Texted me a couple weeks ago going, so there's a new Spider-Man? And I was like, yeah, it's like the second one in Marvel Studios. He goes, it's not Toby anymore? I was like, what the hell? Like,
what year are you in?
You missed the other guys like 6 years. Like, what happened?
Oh my God.
Have you been frozen for a decade?
Like,
it sounds like you've been frozen.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, to me, Sony stands in a weird position because you can't keep building up Spider-Man universe without a goddamn Spider-Man. Like, that doesn't make sense to me, but...
And they already have made such a perfect Spider-Man movie when it came to the Spider-Verse movie.
Yes.
Like, that is like the most perfect. And from what people's rumors are of the new Far From Home is they're like, you thought that was amazing?
Like, not just even that. Let's say Spider-Verse, for example, right? Why can't they just... I don't know, like Mitch said, why don't you just get that guy and be like, hey, look, turns out this Venom exists with one of the Peter Parkers from that film, and he's going to play that character. Like, why can't the Spider-Verse universe go into live action as well? Like,
can it please be B. Parker?
Sure.
I would love it if it's B. Parker.
Which one was B. Parker? Was that Jake Johnson or Chris Pine? Oh, Jake Johnson, yeah. It's got to be that one, yeah. You can't get Chris Pine back. No way.
No.
Yeah, no, but still, like, that would... I want to see Spider-Man and Venom done properly, but that would require a new Venom reboot.
Yeah, no. I'm okay with this
I wouldn't mind a new Venom.
It would be too soon.
A good one?
I mean, because Kate said that he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, get Kate's on it. Perfect.
Yeah. What a weird time for Spider-Man, I guess. I mean, what else? Didn't they just recently say they're like, oh yeah, Sony, we're still developing Black Cat? Why?
Don't.
Ain't nobody want that.
I want Marvel to make Black Cat.
Yeah,
don't touch Black Cat.
Sony Black Cat.
What if they made Zendaya Black Cat?
I mean,
that was met with silence. I'm gonna back away from that.
No,
no, I was just trying to figure out how they could, because
you can't. Weird. Because she's MJ. She's the new kind of MJ.
Yeah.
She's not Mary Jane, but she's like the new iteration of an MJ. And Black Cat has always been this almost sex appeal version. It's like since in the MJs, and really? Black Cat has been
she's the complete opposite of MJ. So
yeah.
I mean, maybe this MJ, but like comics MJ, really?
I don't like
she
comic
was
MJ
supposed
at
to be
all.
like the perfect girlfriend.
Well, to me, it's just weird having the actor go from one franchise to another franchise to play a different character.
Yeah,
because she's known for quote unquote MJ, and then she goes to play Felicia Hardy as Black Cat.
No, I wasn't saying her to be Felicia Hardy. I was saying, what if MJ was Black Cat?
Boy, that'd be weird.
So instead of
that would be
Felicia,
weird.
Yeah,
they have to be two separate people.
Yeah,
like.
I would say just give us a proper Black Cat. Like, I mean, it's not that hard. I don't think. Like,
yeah, but the problem is Sony did Felicia.
Yeah,
you never saw Black Cat, but you saw Felicia.
Yeah, they did.
It definitely was so like.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll talk about more what they could do with the future of Spider-Man next up. So Spidey's MCU future. So just so we're all on the same page, Tom Holland's gonna be Spider-Man for a long time. We can all agree on that, right?
I mean, yeah.
But where did the rumors come from? Because I saw some people saying
you know exactly where
we got that covered.
I mean, said this topic kind of killed me inside. It's just like,
yeah. So, here's the thing. This is one of those rumors that comes from kind of a no-brainer factor, right? Like, it's not so much oh, I got a scoop. It's like, if we just look at what they're saying, it's kind of like, yeah, Tom Holland's going to be Spider-Man for at least another decade. So, like...
And I'm okay with him being it, because he can then age and mature with the Spider-Man character. Like, they can become one and mature together.
Right, which kind of then brings me to something we talked about in the whole Venom and Spider-Man and all the Sony stuff. So, let's say they want to develop Black Cat, and maybe Sony's just doing what Sony does, is they're trying to get Marvel to do it properly, so they're tossing the name out there just to get Kevin Feige worried. So,
please.
What if
It sounds like you're just saying that they're gonna make Black Cat screw up just so Marvel will do it right.
Honestly, I think that's kind of what they want to do. Like,
I think what it is like they're trying to threaten it.
Because remember, like right after Homecoming, Sony was like, "We're gonna develop a Mysterio movie," and you could tell Kevin Feige was like shaking in his chair, being like, "No, please, no! I'll do Mysterio right now!" Like to me, what if you have the high school years, and obviously he's gonna graduate, and they said they kind of want to do more of that. So when he gets to an adult, he has his relationship with Michelle or MJ, whatever. Let's just call her MJ from now on.
She's MJ.
So he has his relationship with MJ. They've been together since being in high school and all that, Then you can bring in Felicia Hardy. Then you can do that factor of temptation and stuff and kind of show. I think that'd be a proper way to kind of age Peter. Like, I think you got to explore, obviously, his college years, because those are really important to Peter. Yeah. So,
and that's something we haven't actually gotten yet, our college years of Peter.
They, jump around it in the other movies. It was awkward. He was in high school and then graduates in, the first 30 minutes of the Raimi? I can't even remember. Yeah. It was, real quick.
They do the same thing in Tasm as well. It's like, oh, he's in high school. He's out of high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like we only see a couple days, then they go on a field trip, then they graduate.
Yeah.
In 30 minutes.
Yeah, I would really like it if it's something like that, because then you can get a mature woman to be Felicia, and she's playing a character who's only a few years older. So say you have him, he graduates at, you graduate at 17, 18? So then
say
maybe
18,
he's
so college in his 20s?
Yeah, so he's in 20, 21, and that's when he meets Felicia.
Right, and you can introduce all those elements of the college life and everything, which honestly I think is something good to explore. And to me, looking at the future of Spider-Man, you have the high school years, which is very much, we know the type of movies they're taking after, clearly just by looking at it. Like the vacation movies and, obviously the John Hughes stuff, that's influential. But then you can literally take a riff on those, adult comedy movies, which Marvel is tons of comedy. So you can put some of those things in there, some of his friendships, obviously bring in, I guess, Harry Osborn if you want. You can introduce Kurt Connors in there if you want. Maybe do Lizard properly finally. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lot, and they still have a lot of leftover stuff that they need to get to. Scorpion, Vulture coming back. Man, there's a lot of stuff they could touch on. What do you guys want out of the future of MCU Spidey?
No Felicia Hardy until at least he is in a year or two of college.
Yep, agreed.
Don't touch her.
But what if I want Felicia Hardy from the Ultimates where she pukes in his dick?
I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Please.
I actually want that one shot.
I would want to see was it Tombstone and Hammerhead in a movie.
Oh, Tombstone.
Maybe some war, was it gang war movie?
Yes.
We can definitely get a gang war movie after this one, because it is the fallout of the Avengers.
Right, it's
so
the people coming back, crime syndicates rising again. Man, that'd be awesome.
And you never know how
what
we
I
could...
want is... I'm going to go dark again, like I did with Guardians. Right. We're going to do the ultimate death... Well, not... You're going to do the death of Peter Parker, but we're not going to kill him off.
Right.
Like, you take that and you mix
cripple him?
With... No, not going to cripple him. Peter's going to be fine. Well, quote, fine. It's going to be kind of like a non-screen Uncle Ben moment and just kill Aunt May.
Oh!
Like, have her die in that, and then you get your pseudo stand-in for Uncle Ben.
And then you can get the power and responsibility.
Yeah, and that's how you win that trilogy and move on to the next bit where just a please everyone. He is Spider-Man now, and
Right.
he's doing everything else.
Yeah. No, that'd be awesome.
That's what I would do. Personally.
I mean, it's a perfect way then transition them from childhood and teenage life into adult life. It's like, hey, loss is inevitable. Your friends are going to change. Your life is going to change after high school. You know what else changes? Well, your aunt died. It's like, oh God, no, that would be something. Like,
I feel like the way that they're trying to go though with Aunt May is she's obviously gonna not even be mostly in this movie because he's far from home. So the next movie though, it could actually have a little bit more of them bonding as him as Spider-Man, her as possibly the Aunt May from the Spider-Verse, that she helps with the gadgets and like hides and be like, hey, I found a little something for you.
Honestly. Like,
Then that's when you have her unfortunately demise. Like when he thinks everything's perfect.
That's when the Sinister Six strike and take her out.
Oh. You just come crashing through the side of the wall, just like.
And they're gonna recreate that scene from the Raimi. Oh, be gone, demon, or whatever.
Oh no!
I
please
hate that
no.
scene. It is the worst. It's so bad. I want that recreated.
No.
That'd be so bad.
I want her to like have a baseball bat hit one of the Sinister Six in the head, and then.
So who's the lamest of the Sinister Six they're setting up? Probably.
Well, let's see who you got. You got Vulture, you got Mysterio. You're gonna have Scorpion.
Yup.
Chameleon, maybe.
Chameleon could take something to the head. Yeah.
Take a baseball bat.
Shut up, Chameleon. Nobody likes you.
Or Shocker. You know, you can.
Another Shocker. That'd be fine. Tinker is still around. You know.
Would Tinker be part of the Sinister Six?
Sure, why not? If they're running out of room.
It's weird because in certain iterations he is, and in other ones he isn't.
It's like in this one, it's like, can you really see him like on the front lines?
No.
Like, sure, him being affiliated like he was with Vulture, but like,
he looks like he would get like run out of breath by throwing a punch. So
I was gonna say he's a bit too circular to.
Oh, poor Tinker.
So then he's the one that Aunt May hits in the head.
I suppose I'm just making the case for it, really, aren't I? Just like,
So, Spidey's MCU future. Look, we can guarantee he's going to have at least another 3 movies after like this one.
As long as Sony lets Marvel keep him, which, let's be honest, they're gonna.
They have to, or people revolt on them.
Yep.
So,
Far From Home's clearly gonna crack $1 billion.
Yep.
Well, guys, though, we have to really think about the true future of Sony. How much longer are they going to be their own independent company?
5 years tops. Did you see that Photoshop they released?
No.
Which one? That's what they constantly do.
The Spider-Man New York.
Oh, jeez.
Like the one.
I saw you. I saw you tweet that. I had no idea what the hell it was.
No, that is official. That is official things that a studio paid someone to make.
But what's it for? I didn't get it.
Advertising
What?
Far From Home coming to New York.
That is horrid.
Like, they literally searched up New York skyline and Spider-Man PNG and just slapped it on there. It is so bad.
Yeah, because it actually shows that, like, if you don't go on Twitter and you have, Spider-Man and Marvel stuff, and this comes up, I was laughing because I was like, is this serious? 'Cause I thought someone just did it, but no, it was an actual account that posted this.
That's bad.
It's really bad.
Oh, Sony gonna Sony. Well, the DCEU is off to a weird summer since they're not attending San Diego Comic-Con, but the future's still looking good. We're getting more and more about which directions they want to go in. Now, the weird thing that popped up this week is like, Ezra Miller's still going to be the Flash. It's like, is he though? Like, let's be real about this. His contract is up.
He's gone.
I think they're just trying to sit there, almost like how Sony's like, yeah, guys, Spider-Man's coming to Venom. They're just sitting there being like, yeah, we still have Ezra.
Yeah, we got him. He's look at him.
Just to get all those fans.
Look at this guy over here wearing his toupee dress or whatever he's going to wear this week. Look at him. He's Ezra Miller. He's in Fantastic Beasts, I think. Is he still there? Did he die? I can't remember.
No, we never watched those movies.
Right. You're saying, like, he'll do Flash once these are finished. Well, that's like 5 years away.
Dude,
So-
yeah, that's forever away.
The directors they have now don't want to hang around for that long.
And I was gonna say, didn't they just delay the Fantastic Beasts from next year to the year after? So,
yeah.
so you're telling me his movie's coming 2022 at the earliest? Like that, dude. He'll be Flash for like a decade before we see him even suit up again. Like, come on.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
There's no way he's still there.
No.
I don't believe it.
No,
And
same.
like before, people would be like, "Oh, but they haven't announced it." They never announce it.
Yeah.
And they never announced Affleck's out. It's just it's just a thing that happens.
Yeah, Affleck confirmed it. He was like, "Boy, Pattinson, huh?" Like that was his confirmation. Like,
yeah, that's what you would get. But
so some other things that are apparently in the works, and I have confirmed this one with people, so it is true. Swamp Thing is in the early stages of development as a film.
No.
You idiots! Warner
see,
Brothers.
I've heard so many it's people saying it's happening, people saying it isn't. It's just like, well,
It's-
you've all been right before.
The thing is, they wanted to do Swamp Thing before, and I know this for a fact, but they were like, look, we can't fit it into the slate, and Justice League Dark fell apart, so that's why they made it a TV series. But now that the outcry of the cancellation and they're realizing that there's fans, I've been told that they're back on the drawing board. They want to be like, wow, we could actually make money off Swamp Thing. So, okay, I'll take Swamp Thing, but guess what version of Swamp Thing is really good? The one you have on TV. So, like...
They're really I feel like they're not doing it right.
No.
They're seriously messing things up. And can we, though, truly 100% blame WB? No, we really can't, because AT&T's the one now pulling their strings.
Yeah, new CEO already appointed. Tujihara's out.
I mean, WB were they were doing their thing before AT&T got.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
So here's kind of a part that really gets to me, though. If they're gonna do Swamp Thing and they're like, oh, here's the thing that's in development, you could easily do what Marvel did and be like, you know what? Maybe Swamp Thing's part of this universe and we're going to have some crossover there. But
yeah.
that literally would have brought more people into the DC service then and everything they're offering there. But again,
The problem with that is that's rolling over, so they wouldn't. Well, then, yeah. Right, that's the thing.
it's kind of frustrating. And again, there's been no updates on Green Lantern. Like, Green Lantern's supposed to come out next year.
You'll get Green Lantern when Johns finishes Doomsday Clock,
Whoa!
Stargirl, and whatever else the hell he's working on. That's when that'll happen. You're at least 4 years away from him even starting the script.
Okay, good. Hype. I'm getting excited, Mitch. You got my hype meter off the charts
There we
here.
go.
Yeah, it really stinks about Swamp Thing, because they do have such a perfect adaptation on their streaming service right now. So here they are. They're like, okay, we're going to make a movie, but we're not going to use the sets that we already built. We're not going to use the perfect suit that we already have. We're not going to use all this stuff because it has to look different.
And apparently they're still working on Lobo? Like, what? Like,
Well, yeah, Lobo's getting a spin-off series on Sci-Fi.
I'd rather take that. Like, I don't want a Lobo movie. And Michael Bay's like, no, we're still working on it. It's like, no, nobody wants that. Like, you have actually a really competent Lobo on TV, so...
They need to stop with the movies. Be like, guys, the TV, they kill it. They are killing it on their TV sides right now.
Way better.
Besides CW stuff. 'Cause
we don't
talk
count
about
that. We don't count that. Come on.
But everything else on TV or streaming service has been so well done. And it's like, oh my gosh, you guys actually picked up a comic and made it happen. When it comes to their movie division, they go, comic? Out the window. And
Well,
that's it.
And luckily, it's like Shazam was great, but
Yes.
people didn't see it.
Nope.
So that's unfortunate. Like,
And that's because of the outcries.
and people just like, and they dumped it in like the worst date possible, I would say.
They
Yeah.
also didn't market that movie at all. So.
No,
Nope.
not at all. Like, I didn't see Shazam marketing on anything. Like, you go to stores and typically you'd see DC stuff on like chip bags and stuff. Nothing. Shazam was nowhere to be found. So,
Nope.
I mean, okay, so with them skipping San Diego, what's your hopes for next year? Because they said they're coming back next year. What do you hope they bring? A slate they can
Right.
stick to? Would that be
Something to
nice?
stick to.
Here's what they have to bring out. Right?
Duct tape.
Warner Brothers just signed J.J. Abrams.
Yep.
have J.J. Abrams be your Kevin Feige. And it's like, right, we're going to keep Wonder Woman and Aquaman. We're ignoring everything else.
So
here's 3 other movies. Here's a Justice League.
You gonna ignore Shazam?
Yeah. I'm not ignoring Shazam.
Here's the thing, though. While I understand why everybody wants Abrams, he's signing $500 million contract, right? He's going to want to do all his own original stuff and get that out before he does anything. So this could still be like JJ running anything. I feel like that's like 3 to 4 to 5 years away because they're going to hire him for all those original ideas he has that, that go in the mystery box. Ooh, JJ.
But his thing, JJ Abrams has a Superman script that's been floating around for a while.
Yeah, he does.
What if part of what he wants to do is the DC movies?
Fine. That'd be great.
No, done.
Yeah.
That's what I do. They need someone like that, who's
Someone
better
competent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who better than the guy who rebooted quote Star Wars and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He makes money, so why not?
I mean, he definitely makes money. He's a good pick, and I don't mean this to knock JJ at all. Like, he's literally one of my favorites working in Hollywood, but JJ is about as safe a bet as you can make to deliver what you need him to deliver. Like,
but that's exactly what they need.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying it again as a knock. The reason he's back for episode 9 and the reason he did, Force Awakens is because JJ is safe. Like, he knows what he's going to do and he does it well. And it's a little by the book and all that, but again, that's what DC needs. They need to recover and have somebody in charge that everybody likes. And yeah, there's people that are like, oh, JJ with this and that. It's like, look, overall, he delivers on everything he does. You can't go wrong with him. So,
yeah. And I would be really excited to see where he goes and what he does, because you have to wipe out all of the muck. You have to kind of wash all that dirty muck away and try to rebuild something in, unfortunately, too short of a time frame. But if anybody can do it, I feel like he's one of those people who can.
Now, the question is, because Wonder Woman 3 will no doubt be out if, hypothetically, he gets this.
Right.
So, would Gal Gadot carry on, or would that be her 3 and done? Would you then need a new Wonder Woman? What about Aquaman? Too far, Aquaman 2 is not coming out for 5 years. So, you got him for, a movie.
Yeah.
Or do you even keep those, the 2, 3 that made money, I suppose, in there? Or do you just completely start again?
I would scrub and start.
You keep Pattinson, or is Pattinson out completely?
I scrub and start with Pattinson. I say he's the intro to the new world, and by the time Pattinson's second movie is out, which I'm assuming is going to be 2.5 to 3 year cycle max because it's Batman and that's how they like to stick to it. By the time the second movie happens, have him need a help from a detective, and you introduce a new Flash, and it's like, oh, wow, that's our new Barry, huh? All right, well, I'll take this. I think Batman can be a solid foundation because he's so grounded that if you expand into the mystic and I guess hardcore superhero side slowly through him, you can bring the viewer with you. Kind of like Iron Man. That was a good introduction to a whole universe.
And I'm just wondering, will The Rock ever become Black Adam?
No.
No. Marvel's gonna get him for something that it's gonna just be like, nope, I'm never going over this way.
Dwayne Johnson will be the Thing before he becomes...
I need him to be Kazar. That'll happen someday. Kazar's gonna happen. I'm telling you.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, actually. Though.
Yeah.
What? Has he played Conan yet? Because The Rock as Conan would be a bad idea.
No, that could work. I
don't think he's been Conan before.
The Rock is Conan? Let's look this up.
No, you can do it, though.
Who?
Because Jason Momoa was Conan the Barbarian.
The Rock was... Oh, no, he was Hercules.
He was Hercules.
Sorry.
Yeah. The same difference.
Yeah.
If you type in The Rock Conan, it brings all of his stuff on Conan, like Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien, coming to places you're not expecting. Literally, come back to this in half a year and you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so
Just teasing something. I'm just like, what the hell? Are you
teasing
talking
something, but don't worry about it, everybody. I can't say much more than that. But
Tell
yeah,
me afterwards.
it's happening. So yeah, DCEU. Things are chugging along. That's the way to put it.
Choo choo.
The unenthusiastic train. That's a way to sum it up.
It's like it's gonna get derailed. Is what it sounds like.
Damn.
I mean, at least they got Wonder Woman 84 coming out, so
Yep.
that's something.
Brings us to the end of the show and talking a little bit about Spider-Man coming out this weekend, and let's talk a little bit about the box office expectations, because this is a weird one. It opens up on Tuesday, so its weekend run is considered Tuesday, and in some places Monday to Sunday. That's
Almost a week.
That's a lot. That's 5 days, almost 6 days in
Yep,
some
trying
places.
to
So
think on
it's a 6-day total. So.
Yeah, they're trying to bank on that 4th of July weekend.
So
Which I don't know why. Holidays never do well. No.
yeah,
That's why they're doing that release earlier,
Got it.
so that they can try getting some numbers prior to nobody going to the theater on 4th of July.
which is it's a good, I guess, marketing tactic because it's been done before and it makes the weekend look huge. So we're gonna do our predictions here. Mitch, what are you feeling for its opening weekend that includes all those days?
So we're just doing a 6-day?
Yes.
Or are we doing a 3-day and a 6-day?
Just 6 day total.
6-day total. I'm going to say 200.
Oh damn, that big. Okay, Tristan, what do you got?
220.
Oh damn.
I'm guessing yours was going to be low.
I was going like 180. I don't know why. I feel like it's probably gonna do like 140-ish over the 3-day weekend, including like a Thursday. But I don't know. Like I still think it's gonna do good. That Thursday, the 4th of July, throws me off.
Yeah, just banking because it's Spider-Man. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
And it's a Spider-Man, though, that a lot of people love.
And it's post Endgame. It doesn't have that hype. I'm probably lowballing it majorly, but I don't know. Watch it come out and do like 280, and we're like, what? It'll be the Captain Marvel. Like, remember when we were like, Black Panther? All right, I don't know, 110.
I was convinced. I was convinced. I thought there's no way. There's no hope. No, it's like, okay.
Rick, this ain't even gonna crack 200.
I got called racist once for saying it was going to not make like 200. It's like, okay, no.
All right, fair enough. Well, damn, I was wrong. So, yeah, that brings us to the end of the podcast. As always, make sure you guys let us know what you think it's going to make this weekend at box office. As I said at the start of the show, we'll be back next week. 2 podcasts, so look out for those. We're going to have a lot to talk about with Spider-Man in general. So, thanks for joining us, and take care. Go enjoy Spider-Man before next week, and all that good stuff. Yes, the webs were shooting. Thank you, Shay. That's the sound effects. Perfect.